I love the hustle, man.
What is up, everybody? What is up? Shout out to everybody in the BTB squad. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another Black Man in Tech episode. Here today, I have another special guest. Shout out to my special guest, Justin Kupa. Let me go ahead and turn it over.
Hey, how's
Justin,
it
how you?
going?
Justin, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great today. Doing great today. Even more excited to be a part of this Black Man in Tech series that you got going on. It's really cool.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. So yeah, Justin, I wanted to bring you on here because I met you at a networking event with Technologies of Color and BlackRock. So that happened like was it last week? And graciously you came up here and you wanted to be interviewed by me, so I really do appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm just getting the Black Man in Tech, the actual YouTube channel itself off the ground. So you're one of our first interviews that I've done for the channel.
Feel excited to be a part of it, like I said.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. So, Justin, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself? Like in your experience. I know that you said that you work at BlackRock, so can you kind of tell us how you got to this position that you're in now?
Sure thing, sure thing. So I'd like to preface by saying I'm pretty new to this corporate environment. I just graduated back in May of 2021. I was a computer science major at Franklin and Marshall College, a liberal arts university in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. After graduating, during my tenure at Franklin and Marshall, I had my first ever internship with BlackRock my junior year summer, going into my senior year of college. So I haven't had any other computer science actually applied experience before that, but just put a ton of applications out there. And BlackRock seemed like a great place to start my career and get a good knowledge base for technical and business acumen as well. So after I did that little internship, I got a return letter. So went down there to Atlanta after graduation, and it's been pretty up since.
Okay, cool. So, and you said the name of your college was Franklin and Marshall. Is that correct?
Yeah, Franklin and Marshall College. It's a pretty small university, about like 2,500 kids. So not too many people down south know about it, but it's pretty well regarded and a very rigorous course load, and I got a lot of experience out of it.
All right, cool, cool. See, that's awesome, man. I learned about something new. So you got your
Right.
degree in computer science, and with that, you said you recently graduated. Did you think that getting your computer science degree was difficult?
Oh, most definitely. It was. I can honestly look back at my college education and kind of have a little bit of PTSD thinking about all the late nights in the computer lab, all the failed programs that we really had to get done before a certain deadline. That was pretty stressful and a strenuous time, but I think I found solace in knowing that all the people around me were pretty much going through the same challenges. Everybody was struggling through it, and like it wasn't I was like inefficient or like dumb for lack of a better term. It was just that the work was very challenging and it took a lot of effort and a lot of repetition in order to get good at it. So I kind of just stuck to it throughout the 4 years, went to a lot of office hours with my professors and kind of went the extra mile to try and get the knowledge that I need in order to excel in that position.
Okay. Yeah. So now, do you think that getting your college degree prepared you for this position, or did you have to do more work in addition to that?
With my current position, it's pretty interesting because it's a rotational program. So every 6 months, we rotate from team to team over a course of 2 years. So we get a varied experiences on different technologies and different sides of the business. So every 6 months, we're kind of in the same boat as like being like a fish fresh out of water type of thing, where we're trying to just get the lay of the land and all the new technologies that we're using. So it's like a continual like freshman year cycle where you're like new man on campus and trying to learn everything. And I think our managers know that, and they're pretty supportive in that effort to kind of get you acclimated and get all the required knowledge and resources that you need in order so you can build off of it. So I think being in a very supportive environment, as I found myself in down Atlanta, down in Atlanta at BlackRock, it's been good to get that hands-on applied knowledge. While in college, it was more theoretical, and I like the applied part of computer science a lot better than just the theoretical because more exciting and more tangible to me.
Okay. And so you moved here from Pennsylvania, right? So when you moved here, I want to ask you, do you actually like it here in Atlanta?
I actually do. I grew up in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. That's in South Jersey, right over the bridge from Philadelphia. More of a suburban type of town, so not too much went on the regular. While in Atlanta, I'm in Midtown in the city, so I'm 10, 15 minutes from everywhere I can hop around or wherever my friends or people are at or something's going on, another festival. So I like a lot of the action that goes on down here. And also being in a pretty vibrant Black community is definitely good to see down here in Atlanta as well,
Okay. Yeah, it's diverse over here too, so
for
it's pretty
sure.
good because you got a lot of tech companies down here in
Mhm.
Atlanta, a lot of big businesses. BlackRock is one of them. You got Google, who's been here for a while actually, but they've been kind of hidden. I don't know why, but they also got Microsoft that just moved over here as well over there in Midtown.
Yeah, I'm sure they got a little head button down there. But I mean, seeing all the companies coming down here, it's just gonna that's what happens by nature. All the companies are competing for talent, resources, which I ultimately think is a good thing because competition breeds innovation. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how that plays out for Atlanta with all the different tech companies coming in town.
Right. Now, do you think that with all the companies coming in town, people making higher salaries, do you think that it's going to get more expensive down here in Atlanta as well?
By nature, that's usually how it goes. And I mean, that's one of the drawbacks. And if you're not able to get in early in a place like Atlanta or up and coming cities, but I mean, there's a lot of benefits that come with it as well. So
Mhm.
we'll see how it plays out. We can only see. We can only wait and see.
All right, cool. Yeah, I've been seeing these gas prices. They going up to like almost $4. You over there in Midtown, it's probably super expensive.
It is. That's why I really try and take those little bird scooters or even walk to
Yeah.
work or something like that. Maybe save a couple dollars here and there. So trying my best to keep it safe with that with the gas prices because they are getting up there.
Yeah, man. So let me go ahead and go back to I said you said that you were new to the whole corporate environment and everything. Was there any like was it like a shock, a culture shock when you was like, okay, this is how you have to act when you're in the corporate environment? Because it's gonna be completely different probably from all your previous positions.
Yeah, I definitely was thinking that there would be more culture shock, but honestly, I try to bring my whole self to whatever I'm doing, no matter like if they don't accept me, they don't accept me, and I know I'm confident in myself to be able to like find opportunity at where I'm accepted and not try and compromise myself. Ultimately, I'm sure in different work environments, whether you go to like a Wall Street that's like known to have a certain archetype that might something might be expected. But in the Atlanta office where I've been for my entire professional career, it's been pretty inclusive, and I can't say I've been looked at the wrong way or and for like how I how I dress or how I look or anything like that. And it's been pretty forthcoming with the different whether inclusivity, whether it be gender, race, ethnicity, different things like that. So I really like it in this Atlanta office as very welcoming, and I feel like I can be myself for real.
That's good. That's good. And with that, so you're in the office full time, right? Or are you remote, like hybrid or anything like that?
Yeah, hybrid. They're trying to do a like 3 days in office, 2 days at home type of work week for us currently.
Okay. Uh, now, now, do you like working from home?
It has its advantages and disadvantages, what I always tell people, because when I first came down here and like didn't know too many people, was still trying to get used to everything. I
Mhm.
think being in the house like all day for work and then like, oh, I'm in the house all day, I might as well just cook and like not even go out. Like getting a little bit of cabin fever definitely became a real thing. But I ended up linking up with some friends and stuff. We went to coffee shops for work, and that was kind of cool to see like the surrounding area, like meet people in Atlanta type of thing like that too. So I try and switch it up whenever I do get a little bit of cabin fever, but I like this hybrid model because it's a little like you get the best of both worlds. Well, days that I don't feel like going in and getting up, I can definitely work from home. But if I do want to get out the house for a little bit, just go in the office for a little bit of the day, and then whatever happens after that happens.
Yeah, the human interaction. You definitely because it's funny because you consider your position as an analyst, right? At BlackRock, they consider a software engineer like an analyst.
Correct, correct. Yeah, that's the entry
So
level.
right, and so as an analyst or software engineer, we have this whole stigma where we're more introverted. and I definitely do know some introverted software engineers. So it's good to hear that. Hey, you know what? You like to get out and do other things outside of just staying in the house.
Right, right. And I definitely see that too. Like I know there's a lot of people that don't like public speaking that are in technical roles or like collaborating much. They much more like stick to themselves and do their own thing, which is definitely cool. We need people like that as well. But I just don't personally like when you get labeled with like the tech geek that sits in their house all day. Like that's not everybody. I mean, I'm sure there's people like that, and if that's for them, that's perfectly fine. But that I don't like the blanket terms because there's more intricacies than people care to know for.
Exactly, exactly. So it's a good thing to see, like, hey, look, this is somebody who is like, hey, I like to interact with other people and get out here.
Right, right.
Um, and with that, we also met at a networking event, which is designed for meeting new people and gaining those connections.
Hmm.
Um, so with that being said, what have you like? What are the types of people that you've met who's helped you along the way? I know that you have your team and stuff like that, but outside of just like your team, who has helped you throughout your process of being at BlackRock?
That's a good question. Actually, for our analyst program that we're in, we get placed with a quote unquote mentor that there's a select few people that are more senior in the company that kind of watch over the analyst program to see like what they should do better and like edits that they should make to the program type of thing. And my mentor for the program, Jing Chen, she's I believe maybe a VP at the company or something more senior, but she's been really just like even like outside of work, just checking in on how I'm doing, how I'm adjusting, how I'm like in Atlanta since I was new to the area. She was the person that was definitely like empowered me and made me feel comfortable in what I was doing. And whenever I had something that I need to talk about, she's always forthcoming to hear, even though she's got like a crazy busy schedule because she's just moving and grooving around the company and making things happen. But she's definitely someone that was forthcoming and reaching out and making sure that I'm comfortable with what I'm doing and any questions I need to get answered.
That's awesome. So yeah,
Mm.
that mentorship is extremely important. And can you kind of speak to that as well? Like, how do you think that you benefit greatly from having a mentor, or do you think that you more so look for more independent type of work or challenges that you can take on?
I definitely would love to like I love to have the mentorship to like hear from people's experiences because I feel like I'm bound to face similar circumstances myself. So just getting a little foresight on what I might be able to get expect as well and just like apply it to what I'm going through is definitely beneficial. And that's something that I kind of seek out personally. While I'm not afraid to do the same thing, like being independent and like finding my own way, I feel like it'd be a little naive to just like rely on my own even though I have some talents to be a little naive to rely on them own solely when I have all these like good resources around me in a company like BlackRock with a bunch of smart people that are willing to share the wealth and give them a little bit of knowledge here and there as well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Reason why I say that is because there is nothing worse than trying to do everything by yourself. You got a whole team
Right.
right here,
Of course.
and then you have a deadline you can't meet because you're trying to do everything and read all this documentation. It's better to just go ahead and ask somebody,
Right.
so that way you can kind of put you on the right track. Maybe they have experienced this before.
And to kind of add on to that, like that happens a lot in my daily work as well, because I could easily just bang my head against the computer and like try and brute force a solution type of thing. But I could easily just like save myself a lot of energy and get something done more productively by asking like a colleague a question that's been here for longer and like worked on the system longer than I have that definitely will know the answer faster than me. So there's definitely nothing wrong with asking for help. Like when you feel like you've exhausted all your personal options, and that's honestly even more efficient solution than just like trying and trying and trying. And then rather than like asking the person next to you that might have a solution very rapidly.
Okay. Do you feel like there's opportunity for growth in your position?
I definitely do. And that's something that I try and like seek out a little bit more because I know I'm in a technical position and I know that not too many people want to take those leadership roles from just like And there's like many people just want to code and that's all they want. But I kind of see myself, I have a lot more capabilities that I can draw upon to be in more of a leadership role. So that's something that I try and do and lead the analyst class group and like be in more leadership positions when they present themselves in the company. So I think just growing as a professional, there's a lot of opportunities for that. And with this analyst track, there is like a growth opportunity. Like after the 2 year program, you're almost like you're presented with the associate role after that, and then after the associate role, there's a VP role, and it just like kind of keeps trickling onto that. So we'll see how the corporate ladder treats me, and if that's something I want to stay in for the foreseeable future. But it's definitely a good place to start. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let me ask you this then: is that how often do you read, like read up on different tech articles and blogs, in order to find out what's going on within the market to kind of boost your skills?
Yeah, so one of the things that BlackRock really tries to promote is self-learning and professional development. So there's some certifications that were kind of mandated to take, loosely mandated to take. So I'm kind of heading out on a certain Azure certifications, and outside of that, they do give you like stipends and stuff like that to pursue other certifications if that's something that you want to pursue as well. But I do stay up on like technical trends. Like I have like personal projects that I work on outside of work as well to kind of keep myself abreast of the new technologies, whether it be like mobile development or even like as we're getting into the crypto space, like I'm trying to like this summer get into some Web3 development and like see what that's about and learn some more about that just to like gain the knowledge because technology is advancing every day and we can't even keep up with it. So just doing my part outside of work and doing what I can inside of work to kind of like progress my career as well.
Yeah. Now that Web3 will get you to the bag. Like I see
So
so many
big,
people making some huge amounts of money learning
really.
that
That's something that
Web3.
you're interested in as well, Web3.
Yeah, that web. Man, let me tell you, I saw one position that was like 500,000
Wow,
dollars for it just to do Web3 development. And
really?
because it's so in demand, I mean, like it's a lot of people trying to get into it. So when you get into the crypto space and you can actually develop and learn those skills, you earn a lot of money.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, well, in Atlanta, I think 500,000 is pretty much good money anywhere. But some people be like,
I'll
oh,
take it.
if you live in California or New York or something like that, they'd be like, oh, it ain't nothing, right?
Hey man,
So
I'm just happy with what I can get. Definitely, like wherever the bag, I'm gonna try and chase it.
yeah, man. So um, with that being said, I think that you have touched on something about the vice president position. This is one of the questions I had asked during the networking event, right? So, and I think you laid it out the hierarchy of things. You were talking about the analyst is the entry level. Then you have the associate, and then it's vice president, and then it's
Like
like director or something like that.
managing director or director, then managing director, and then it gets pretty intricate. I haven't
Yeah.
like even thought that far ahead personally, but like they do have a certain hierarchy, but I
Mm-hmm.
think they are trying to like restructure their hierarchy for the technical positions because a lot of like other technical companies they have like software engineer one, software engineer two, and just different archetypes like that. So I
Mm-hmm.
think pretty soon they might do something different for technical folks at the company. But for now, they're just following the track of every other business professional at BlackRock, basically.
Yeah. So, my next question is, how important do you think that the titles are?
Um, They say as you get higher up, it gets more competitive. I'm pretty new to the company, so I haven't seen a lot of the competitiveness when you're looking for promotion. But that's just the nature of thing. There's only so many people that can keep going up with so many little seats available, type of thing. So
Yeah.
I think in that regard, when you get more to that level, when you're looking for promotion, the titles become important and like more of what you do and the impact that you're having becomes important. But right now, I'm really just trying to soak up all the knowledge from the people around me, gain the most experiences that I can, like not really focus on permission or promotion, rather focus on the learning and knowledge and skills that I can gain from this great opportunity where I get to like see so many different sides of the business and work with so many new technologies. So that's kind of where I'm at personally.
All right, cool. And then you also brought up Azure, right? And I believe that BlackRock had a partnership with Microsoft, and that's probably why they chose Azure. So far, have you had to be able to use Azure in any way since you started on your position?
Right now, what I'm just doing is like the Azure certifications for the fundamentals. I think we're gonna make the switch pretty soon to Azure, like wholeheartedly, where it might be more impactful to our development roles. But right now, it's just like we're trying to learn the basics and get to know Azure, and it's kind of cool because I'm learning a lot more intricate stuff about buzzwords that I hear, like Internet of Things, like servers, Kubernetes, all these different terms that I heard about but never knew too much about and like their underlying working. So being able to like put the pieces together afterwards while like going through the certification courses is like kind of newfound knowledge. And I feel like I'm kind of in school again, like learning again new topics, but I have like the hands-on like applied knowledge from what I've done in my work thus far to kind of apply to the things that I'm learning with these certifications.
Okay, cool. Um, and what's the most fun thing about working at BlackRock? So far. I know you just started and everything, but
Right. So I think like the best part, we have like a really active Black professional network at BlackRock, for the Atlanta campus at least. So I've had like we can talk about work, we can not talk about work, we can talk about the Hawks game, we can talk about anything like that. And they're just some genuinely great people. Like outside of like they do their job great, but like they're also cool people that you could probably just kick it with a little bit and just talk about not work stuff and just meet with them as people, not just like colleagues. So I think that's one of the best part that I've seen about BlackRock thus far.
okay. What is the biggest challenge that you may have faced? Whether it's like work related, um, what's the challenge that you faced and you had to like actually solve it?
Yeah, like I mean, as a technical person, we basically face challenges every day when like stuff doesn't work when you think it should. So problem solving is like one of the biggest things that I do on a daily basis. But a big challenge that I was presented with that I feel like was a growth opportunity was I think in the first couple months of me working at BlackRock, I got tapped on the shoulder to host a fireside chat with the head of our Aladdin product group, which is one of our biggest technical branches of BlackRock. So that was like just as like a new analyst, like being able to like just sit in the middle between like the head of our whole technical group and then his understudy as well was just like a crazy thing to be asked. But like my mentor asked me to do it and she definitely felt like I was capable, and it was a growth opportunity, a stretch opportunity, which was uncomfortable at first, but then you realize it's just a conversation. And even though there are these senior folks that have a lot of influence in technology and the company as a whole, they're still people and they still like want to know and want to express their viewpoints. And they made it definitely easy to just have a conversation and pick their brains a little bit up on stage.
Okay. How often do you have to present your new ideas to a group?
It depends on your role. So I think I'm a little bit more involved in like different initiatives because I try and seek them out a little bit, but you could be as involved in presenting or not involved in presenting as you want. So sometimes you get tapped on the shoulder, sometimes you can ask to present or something like that. There are opportunities like that, but I think maybe like a few times a month. We do have a day job. We do have code to write and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not like we're always presenting, but there's opportunities like a couple times a month, and it's definitely good to get that experience talking in front of your people, expressing your ideas succinctly, and just being more comfortable in that environment as well.
Okay. And I think this is my next question is: do you think that, like, if you were to put it on a ratio, right? The amount of meetings that you're in versus the amount of code or work that you actually have to do, where would you have that ratio between like 100%?
On I would say meetings. We have like my team personally. We have daily stand-ups in the morning where we spend like a half an hour, just the whole team updating each other on what we did the day before and what we're planning to do today and any blockers that we have. And depending on your blockers or if there's like a production issue that needs like pertinent like attention, then you probably might be in a little bit more meetings that day than usual. But on the regular, I would say coding more so 70 to 80% of the time. I would say coding, meetings maybe 30, 20%. So it just depends what you have going on, if you need help, or if you're on like a outside of like your day-to-day job committee where you kind of have to like do some coordinating or orchestrating for like an initiative that you're trying to produce.
Right. Now, Justin, I'm gonna give you a spoiler alert. Is that the higher up you go, the more years of experience you get, the more
Right.
meetings that's gonna completely
Right.
change.
Yeah, I
So
definitely get that. And as an analyst, I'm kind of fortunate to not have to deal with all the headaches that come with meetings.
yeah,
But I mean, there is an advantage to it because there's only so much code you can write as one person. And I hear as you get higher up, you can have your ideas kind of trickle down to your understudies and then like have it like put in fruition. So it's a more effective way, even though you might not be in the weeds doing the coding work, it's still you're getting your ideas coming to fruition and like the criteria that you need met basically.
yeah, yeah. And with that, do you prefer meetings in person as opposed to online?
Um, I think I would prefer meetings in person. There's some that just have to be over Zoom because we're a global company. We have offices all over the US kind of thing. So some teams might be in New York, so we have to be on Zoom. But being in person, if we're both in the office, like I'm definitely open to that. But it's just always find the right time, find the because everybody's busy at BlackRock basically. So
Yeah.
it's just a timing thing and seeing if we're both in office at the same time. But I'm definitely open to in person because I think you get like the personal connection as well, which is cool.
Okay. So I had a video a little while ago, and it actually started off the whole Black Man in Tech series that had on my Before the Billions channel, and it was titled "What is it like being a black man in tech?" Right. So I wanted to ask you. So far, I know that you said that you are newly into this. What is it like being a black man in tech from your perspective?
Being a black man in tech, coming from college where I was more or less one of the only black people in the classes. I mean, there was a small school at that, but in my major, there weren't many black folks as well. So it was a little interesting navigating that. I'm not saying I needed other black people to like feel like I could succeed, but it definitely would have helped just to have a sort of sense of camaraderie. And now being in Atlanta, I feel like I have a little bit more of that. There's still a lot of work that we have to do, but Atlanta being such a vibrant, diverse city, you kind of see that a little bit. BlackRock does their best to reflect the community that they're in. And I can say we're still working on getting more people of color into the door for like technology positions, but as a whole, like I said, we have a vibrant Black professional network, so that's something I can tap into as well. And we all try to like support and uplift each other, as we know we're doing a lot of challenging work. So there needs to be support systems in place there, and that's what we try to do within our Black professional networks, and especially in the technical department as well.
Yeah, Justin, I really want to say I really do appreciate you for coming up here. Is there any questions for me based off of any other questions I gave you, or have anything else that you wanted to add about maybe yourself? Have anything that you want to plug?
I'm pretty much a jack of all trades. I'm trying to do a little bit of outside of work that I'm passionate about, like helping people with websites, helping people with apps, different things like that. I'm kind of doing personal project with apps and stuff like that. So anybody needs some consulting help with technical things, I'm your guy. Basically, I've done a lot and just passionate about helping people and like promoting other people's visions and empowering them as well. So I know technology is a creative medium that can do a lot to help somebody's business. So if you need any help, definitely hit up me and we can get to working. But I appreciate you again, William, for having me on this platform. It's definitely a great thing that you're doing as we need to get more awareness about Black people in tech because it is more. I would love to see more Black people in tech because it's a lot of opportunities out there, and you're doing a great job with this. And I definitely applaud you for all you're doing.
Thank you. And also, Justin, do you mind like saying where they can reach out to you?
Oh, for sure. So I'm active on LinkedIn for the most part. Justin Kupa, my name, last name Kupa. Yeah, and I definitely do need to get a business card pretty soon. We'll work on that. But yeah, for now, LinkedIn's been my bread and butter and just connecting with people and going to events that I met William at, like different things like that, just trying to get my name out there and trying to promote myself as much as I can.
All right, awesome. Thank you again, Justin.
No doubt, no doubt. Appreciate the time.